And just like that, the Sabres have completely broken this game open.
3 goals in a minute and 31 seconds. They'll take it over their division rivals in their own building with a 5-2 win over Toronto.
It is 4 wins in their last 17 in regulation for the Toronto Maple Leafs, the latest loss coming at the hands of the Buffalo Sabres, and we need to break it down. It is instant analysis brought to you by Tylenol Rapid Release Gel Caps, rapid release for rapid relief. Here with Justin Bourne. The Leafs maybe need a relief from the schedule. The Buffalo game was 3 and 4 nights. They're obviously battling the cold and a pretty unhealthy locker room. So what do you make of the most recent loss? Is it just coincidence given the schedule, or was there a trend there given how poorly they played?
Yeah, I don't think you ever want to excuse bad losses like that, but I really do think there is something to be said for the whole schedule thing. I mean, they have been through it. It's that time of year. It's tough for everyone. We're into February now, but they've had some injuries, and this is also a team who, for the first time, has really leaned on the top end of their lineup for big minutes, right? Like Matthews is playing a lot, Marner's a lot, Nylander. Those guys are on the ice for a lot of minutes, and I think when you lean heavy on your top guys, it makes it harder on them. And at this point of the season, you kind of start to see that wear again with the injuries. That sort of adds to that. So yeah, they look tired. They've had the flu run through the room. They looked sick and tired.
And they literally were. And you talk about the big minutes played by those heavy guys. When it gets to the third period, it feels like it's a lot in the Leafs' end right now. With a lead, without a lead, it feels like they can't put anything together late. When you look at the guys on the ice and you think, oh yeah, I can trust Matthews, I can trust Tavares, Marner, Nylander, et cetera, to come through with the play. It feels like it hasn't been there. Is there any concern with regards to how they're playing late in games right now?
Yeah, there's concern. I think that's legitimate. How do you figure that out? I'm not exactly sure, because as a coach, those are your guys. And when you commit a lot of money to a part of your lineup, that's where you need to find your success. And they're struggling with that right now. The way that it ended in Buffalo was really disheartening. I felt that once that the Leafs made it 2-2 against the Sabres, there was a push and there was a Kerfoot chance on the back door that he got robbed on that felt like, all right, they score there, they go up 3-2. You could see the team getting excited and playing for that point, and once that didn't go in and then it fell apart at their own end, it didn't feel like they had another push to give.
But it feels like there's been a lot of that. You look at the Montreal game, they had a chance before giving up the equalizer. I know they had one shot in the third, but they had several chances prior to that to take the lead. The Florida game they lost, that first period was about as dominant as you could have asked. They scored 1 goal. The Dallas game they had a chance as well. Dallas comes back and, wins that game too. I mean, look, the stats suggest the Leafs are the more dominant team in all these games, but at the end of the day, the results are what matters here. And you can rely on stats to suggest that, oh yeah, they're going to trend upward. But with 20-something games left, they actually have to get these results. And you look at the schedule ahead, it gets a little difficult this week, Justin.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Like, you can't be playing for moral victories at this time of the year.
No.
And as you mentioned, the schedule, they've got Pittsburgh on Tuesday,
Pittsburgh on Thursday, Carolina and Tampa. Oh, by the way, casual Florida, Vancouver as well right after that. So it's not easy.
It's real right now. It's getting thick for this Toronto team. And, they're a team that's leaning on a guy like Liljegren, who's played like 10, 11 minutes a night. And Sandin is maybe not looking quite as good as he did early on. There are some people who are going to have to rise up and fill these gaps. And it's not coming from Igor Korshkov right now. Like, I understand he had a great first game and he scored and all that.
Can't be relying on him.
Right. Yeah. So, it has to come from the main guys, and they're going to need that great goaltending. And they had good goaltending of late, but they're going to need goaltending. They're going to need their decor guys like Muzzin and Barrie to play well in their big minutes. Otherwise, that's the engine of this team, is those big names, and they need to be on.
Is the good goaltending coming from Jack Campbell versus Freddie Anderson right now, or is that too out there?
I'm not there.
Okay,
I'm not there. Yeah. But it's a worthwhile ask, because you can argue when the Pittsburgh Penguins won their cups, was Matt Murray the better goalie than Fleury? Well, maybe not in the big picture, but he was hot at that time.
And I'm not saying replace Anderson with Jack. That is not what I'm saying. Everybody calm down.
But it is worth noting that if Freddie doesn't look good over a stretch, that you feel comfortable that Jack Campbell could take over more games. Obviously, if this team is going to have a run deep into playoffs, then you're saying you need Anderson to be on. You need a guy who's been a guy getting Vezina votes, a guy who's had a long career in this league. You need him going. So I think in terms of the goaltending situation, it's about putting him in a position to succeed.
It's Pittsburgh Tuesday, it's Pittsburgh Thursday, it's Carolina Saturday. Then it's the trade deadline Monday before the Leafs play the Lightning on Tuesday. We know Tampa made a trade. We're not even going to talk about how good the top of the Atlantic is right now. We'll ignore that. We'll see how different the Leafs look about a week from today after the NHL trade deadline. That is Justin Bourne.